Hello and welcome back to another football commentaries live stream. This clash between Chelsea and Wolves will be Thomas Tuchel's first game at Chelsea, with the players wanting to impress. This could cause a long night in southwest London for Nuno Espirito Santo's men. With both teams coming into this game with a win in the FA Cup fourth round, they want to use any confidence they can get to get 3 points in this game to lift themselves up the table. Although Frank Lampard's reign was only 18 months, the fans have backed their club legend, and some fans believe it was the wrong decision to sack him. Life must go on for Chelsea, and new man Thomas Tuchel, formerly managing PSG and Borussia Dortmund, has signed an 18-month contract. Seeing this game at the start of the season, it would have been hard to believe that this game would be 10th versus 14th, but this is just more evidence of the mayhem in the Premier League this season. Will Tuchel win his first game, or will Nuno spoil the party? Welcome to another commentary. Kick off in around 10 minutes time, and yeah, Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge. So let me the camera. Okay. There we go. Yeah, Thomas Tuchel's first game. It's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. We could really see this go could go any way. Let me just sort this out. Just give me a sec. Go. There we go. Done. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. There is the Chelsea team. If you don't already know it, to my to your left, Alexa Hudson-Odoi's got in ahead. Got to remember, Tuchel only had one training session before this game, so Jorginho comes in as well. Spilicueta starts over Reece James, Mount on the bench, Pulisic on the bench, Werner on the bench. You know, it's an interesting lineup. He said before the game how he couldn't really pick a lineup, due to just having one training session, so he's just gone with pretty much, I think, what he believes is the best team that can win this game. I don't think there's much thinking behind this selection, other than just instinct and thought of who he thinks is the best for each position. Just gonna make sure the stream's okay. Okay, you can hear me. Sound good. We at how long? Yeah, 8 minutes till kickoff, coming up to 7. Yeah, Lampard's exit was a little bit of a shock. You could say. Stop doing that. Sorry about that. I'll turn it down. Sorry about that. Yeah. Hold on, I'll just mute the mic. Give me a sec. Right, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, but Lampard's sacking obviously come as a bit of a shock. I mean, I think how quick it happened. Obviously, he was under scrutiny because of the results and the performances. They weren't as good as what they should have been. But same time, it's still a shock. And interesting to see what Tuchel will do, because he's under a bit of pressure, because he's got to do well now. You know, show I think the more the fans than anyone else that he can do it. Oh, just give me a sec. There we go. Done. Will we see a Tuchel win? That's the big question. So formerly PSG and Dortmund, both times he was sacked because of fallings out with the hierarchy of the club. So interesting how he gets on with Abramovich. Interesting how he's gone for a Giroud ahead of the likes of Werner and Abraham. Maybe settling for more the experienced ones than the youngsters. Mendy does also play in the bench. It would be interesting if we do get maybe a resurgence in the career of Kepa. Ariza Balagi, you just never know. New manager might go into a new vein of form. I doubt it myself, but anything can happen. New manager, he could really come to life under Thomas Tuchel. So interesting if he gets any game time. I don't think he will. I think Mendy's the settled goalkeeper. We're just underway in about 5 minutes' time. Players are in the tunnel. Well, Chelsea players are in the tunnel. Giroud was doing quite the strange warm-up. I don't know if you see that on social media anyway. That was quite a bit of a dance, that, really. Bending over, holding his knees and kind of doing a circular movement around with using the hips. I've just not seen that one. Seen that one before. The 34-year-old showing his flexibility. I remember as well, Thiago Silva did play under Thomas Tuchel at his time at PSG. Both of them got to a Champions League final together not too long ago, about 6 months ago now. Chelsea do walk out for the first time under the managerial presence of Thomas Tuchel. I did listen to his interview just before the game, and he seems very energetic, very lively, very open, very positive person. But if things don't go his way, will that positivity stay around? Who knows? But he seems a decent guy if he wasn't a manager. So we can only take that as it is because we've only seen him once in an interview and that's it. Obviously, we can take his stuff away from what he did against Dortmund and PSG, but we won't much as English fans. We won't know much about him in terms of how he is in terms of the press. But apparently, he's very open and very honest with his answers. And here come Wolves under Nuno Espirito Santo. They are struggling. Wolves in 14th, slumped near the bottom of the league. They're usually Europa League candidates minimum. Last year they were one position off it and they did miss out actually on Europa League when getting beat by Chelsea at Stamford Bridge 2-0. Mount and Giroud goals in the last meeting at the bridge between these two sides. So Wolves might actually be coming for a little bit of revenge, you could say. As Tuchel is there on the bench, sitting in his seat for the first time, all wrapped up, hat, big coat, snood as well. He's got the whole lot. Tuchel took his only training session yesterday afternoon. I think he's trying to get a grip of who should play because new manager comes in, all players are wanting to impress as much as they can to get into his plans. So it will be intense the training for Chelsea in the next week or so, but it'll be training they need to do to try and get towards that top four. But if we do see the team, is Edouard Mendy in goal, looking for his 8th clean sheet of the season. Right back, Cesar Azpilicueta, now been at the club for coming up to 9 years. Rudiger at the back with Thiago Silva, like I said, formerly of PSG. Like Tuchel, he made 315 appearances. Ben Chilwell at left back, one red card in his career in the Premier League. That was for Leicester against Chelsea. Interestingly enough. Kai Havertz plays in the centre attacking mid role. Just behind him is Kovacic and Jorginho. Left wing is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's got the nod ahead of the likes of Werner and Pulisic and Abraham. He starts on the left. Havertz down the middle and behind the striker. Ziyech on the right. And Olivier Giroud up front, looking for his 10th goal of the season in all competitions, if he can bag one today. And then for Wolves as well, Patricio in goal, back three of Kilman, Cody and Bolly. Despite going for a back four sometimes this season, they've decided to go for a back three today. Wing backs of Aït-Nouri and Nelson Semedo, Neves and Dendoncker in the midfield, Matinho on the bench, Neto on the left, Adama Traore on the right. Podence comes back after missing 3 league games because of injury. Willian Jose, as you can see in the Wolves substitutes bit at the bottom left of your screen, he signed from Real Sociedad on the 23rd. He had got his work permit sorted quickly enough because apparently that was going to be an issue for him playing today, but that all got sorted in time and he's on the bench for Wolves tonight. They're the teams. About to get underway in about literally a minute's time. Havertz only the 1 goal in his last 18 competitions. Remember, he did score a hat-trick in the League Cup as well in a 6-0 win. But he needs to shine, and I feel like he will shine under Thomas Tuchel, because Kai Havertz, I remember watching him in the Bundesliga restart last year, and he is seriously good. He has got skills, and he has got talent. So just because he's struggling to adapt to the league in the first 5-6 months, it doesn't mean he won't grow as a player and become a better player, because he has seriously got skill. Tuchel and Nuno Espirito Santo, fist bump at the tunnels. Ray smile by both of them, knowing how quick this transformation for Chelsea has been. Nuno Espirito Santo, could he be the next one out? I doubt it, but he does need to start sorting his squad out very quickly. Struggling at 14th in the league. Say that Chelsea are 10th with 29 points. Wolves are only 7 points behind. So if they can get a bit of a run going, that would be fantastic. It's doing a minute silence here. I'm sorry. This Wolves medical staff, I'm presuming, has got a mask on and goggles. Like these proper goggles. Not sure the medical reason for them. I don't think you would have worn them pre-COVID times, but we've got to make sure you're safe as possible, which is fair enough. Wolves just huddled for the time being. Just a final few words, I'm presuming, from captain Connor Cody. Yet to score in the Premier League, Connor Cody, in his career. Will that day come today? Or will Thomas Tuchel's men be able to silence any kind of threat from Wolves as we do take the knee at Stamford Bridge? The referee, Andy Madley, blows the whistle, and we are underway with Wolves kicking left to right and kicking off. Chelsea right to left, and they've already won the ball from a misplaced pass from Adama Traore. Jorginho on the halfway line shifts it to the right to Azpilicueta. Chelsea in possession, and we have Thomas Tuchel's first game of his Chelsea tenure underway here at Stamford Bridge. We have Thiago Silva on the ball. Just towards the halfway line he goes. He's got an option in the middle. Finds him, Jorginho. First time pass out wide right to club captain Azpilicueta. Hudson-Odoi. Maybe some would have expected him to be on the bench, but he's completed a 1-2 with Ziyech, and Kilman has to come around to have a slide tackle to win the ball back. Now Aït-Nouri. Down the line for Wolves. Can't quite find Pedro Neto, and Chelsea once again in possession with Thiago Silva. On the ball to Azpilicueta. Side to Jorginho. Back to Thiago Silva. Going to look for a long switch down the left-hand side towards Chilwell, is pushed up. Nelson Semedo able to intercept, in the first touch in his managerial career for Chelsea has just been planted. Thomas Tuchel had to catch the ball as it went out of play. I've already taken the throw in again. Thiago Silva on the ball. Sorry about that. Kovacic. Havertz just on the left-hand side here. Over to Thiago Silva. Now to Rudiger. First time ball over to Chilwell. Right-footed ball inside to Kovacic. Finds Jorginho. Over to Ziyech. Got Azpilicueta and Hudson-Odoi to his right, and he'll use Hudson-Odoi. He's got the overlap of Azpilicueta. Now goes back inside to Ziyech on the edge of the box. Left-footed, strikes, deflects, leaps in the air. Connor Cody heads away towards Aït-Nouri. Chested down, pressure by Hudson-Odoi. And loses the ball. Can't quite keep it in play. Aït-Nouri. Good defending by Hudson-Odoi in the attacking third to keep the ball high inside the Wolves half. It's Callum Hudson-Odoi with the throw into Ziyech towards the corner flag. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can, but can't find a Chelsea shirt. And Podence has got back to play to Ruben Neves, and he deflects off Havertz, but Podence was challenged and fouled while he got the ball to Ruben Neves, and the referee has given it a free kick to Wolves to kind of relieve any early pressure that they're under there within the first 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Nuno Espirito Santo is going to have to start grinding results out from somewhere. 6 wins, 4 draws, 9 losses. No win in his last 6 Premier League games. His last league win under this Wolves side came at home, 2-1 win, against Chelsea. Pedro Neto scored a last-minute winner that day as Rui Patricio sent the ball all the way over towards Traore. Rudiger can easily see it out for a goal kick. Bit of a game of longies there by Patricio. all the way out for a goal kick on the opposite side. But that is their last league win against Chelsea at home. And that game was back on the 15th of December 2020. Giroud actually gave Chelsea the lead that game. And they bounced back with Pedence goals and a 95th minute Pedro Neto winner. So they're looking to get back to winning ways in the league against Chelsea again. I'm so sorry. Rudiger, halfway line to Kovacic. That won't happen. That will stop. They're usually quite quiet. Thiago Silva to Azpilicueta. Silva. Kovacic. To Havertz, just drifted over to the left-hand side, and we'll use Ben Chilwell, who come inside and just go back to Thiago Silva. Sorry about that. That won't continue. They will stop. Into Ziyech, tackled by Dendoncker. That's Kilman, sorry. Number 49. We'll think it looking towards Aït-Nouri, the left wing back on loan. Dispossessed by Azpilicueta. Hudson-Odoi just keeps it in. Tries to take on Kilman. Good strong tackle again by the young English centre-back. And Prudence looks down the line to Neto, intercepted by Thiago Silva. And Antonio Rudiger can now have possession again for Chelsea. Good strong tackles there, back-to-back from Max Kilman. 6'4" tall centre-half as Chilwell gives the ball away in midfield. Again, dispossessed by Kovacic. Wolves, they're on it, Chelsea, in terms of winning the ball back as quick as they can when they lose it. It's Kovacic to Jorginho. 3 Premier League goals this year for Jorginho, all from the spot. 2 against Palace at home. They've worked it to Hudson-Odoi, 1-on-1 with Aït-Nouri. Saints take him on right across the box, and Giroud just misses it, and Chilwell can't keep it in. It's going to be a throw-in, I think. I'm not sure if it's for Wolves or Chelsea. It might have took a slight deflection, but real positive play by Hudson-Odoi there. Got past Aït-Nouri right across the box, and any kind of contact from Giroud, you probably say that as heading goal-bound. I don't think it nicked off Giroud or a Wolves player. I think it just went straight through, and it did. A Nelson Semedo throw-in, but Tuchel thought that was in himself. Giroud looking for a goal against Wolves again. Like I said, he did give Chelsea the lead in the game at Molineux earlier on in the season, about 6 weeks ago now, 5 weeks ago. So from the throw-in, Chelsea won it back again. Havertz, quick ball into Ziyech. Drifted to the left, finds Chilwell. First time crossing, it's inviting. Giroud's header goes all the way to the opposite side of the box. Couldn't quite divert it goalwards, and Hudson-Odoi's been energetic for the first just under 6 minutes. Is on the ball again. Back to Azpilicueta. Ziyech, Kovacic, Jorginho, Hudson-Odoi. Down the line towards Hakim Ziyech again, formerly of Ajax. Back to Hudson-Odoi. Not as good of a cross as his last one, and Neves gets there, and Kilman helps it on, only as far as a throw-in for Chelsea, and it's really positive play by Chelsea so far. You can really see they've got a new lease of life in their play. You can tell just from the first 6 minutes. They just need to keep it up if they can. Ziyech to Kovacic. When we have Real Madrid, don't score many goals. Kovacic, not as many as you think he would, despite being quite a positive midfielder. Only the 2 goals, one in the league, and that was in a defeat to Everton. Here he's on the ball, works it towards Giroud, gets there to Connor Cody, and gets it out wide left to Chilwell. 1-on-1 with Nelson Semedo, decides to get an early crossing, blocked off the former Barcelona fullback and out for a corner for Chelsea. Great start. Like I've said, it's all about Tuchel's play. He is a very attacking-minded coach, despite playing his playing days at centre-half. 47-year-old. Giroud in the box. Rudiger behind him, and behind him Thiago Silva is a 3, and presume they're going to split off, and hopefully one of them, for Chelsea anyway, attacks this Ziyech outswinging cross. Ball's been put in towards the near post, headed away by Pedro Neto. Hudson-Odoi falls to, allows it to come off the chest. It's a bit too heavy. Neto gets there, but his touch is too heavy as well. And Jorginho can pick it up. And Chelsea have the ball again. Rudiger to Jorginho. Chilwell, Jorginho again. Just on the halfway line is Mateo Kovacic. Thiago Silva to Havertz on the right hand side. He's got Hudson-Odoi to his right, and will use him. Tries to complete a 1-2 there, cut out by Aït-Nouri, out for a throw-in that final third. But I've always rated Hudson-Odoi when I've seen him this season, especially against West Bromwich Albion, one of my earlier commentaries in the season. He was fantastic when he came on. He definitely has that energy, and I think if he's coached right and given the right confidence, I think he'll be fantastic under Tuchel. But here's Azpilicueta to Jorginho. It's all in the Chelsea half in a minute. Finds Kovacic, bit of room. Shifts it onto his right foot, looks for a ball inside towards Giroud, deflects off a Wolves player and into the hands of Rui Patricio, Portuguese goalkeeper. So we do know how the Wolves squad is drained with Portuguese players. His kick towards Traoré has been flicked on, but always fires Antonio Rudiger into Jorginho. Zip ball in towards Havertz. Can he feed through the run of Hudson-Odoi? He's cut out by Kilman again. He finds Pedro Neto. Let's turn back, find Neves. Pedence inside to Neto. Nice play here from Wolves. Can he get away from Thiago Silva? Strong challenge from the experienced Brazilian centre-half. And Chelsea again have the ball back. Nice little back heel to Kovacic by Ziyech. Aspilicueta. He was on the bench for the Luton game. Reece James did play the full 90 minutes in that Luton game, so that could have been a reason for why Aspilicueta has been chosen for today's game. Fresher legs. Kovacic, who played the ball through for Werner for him to win his penalty, he came on for the last 5 minutes or so. He starts tonight as well. Jorginho. Chilwell inside to Havertz. On the left-hand side, gets a low cross in. Cody cuts it out. Then Donker with a heavy touch. Tackles Ziyech and gets it to Neves. Outside of the boot. Ball over the top, looking to get in behind. Thiago Silva gets ahead of Neto and works it back to his goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. Good defending there from the 36-year-old Thiago Silva. Hope everyone's enjoying the stream. Instagram and new TikTok page is in the description. The name of it is just Football Commentaries YT. I put, I think, 3 videos out already as Nelson Semedo wins it back for Wolves. As Chelsea are sloppy in possession. Nelson Semedo looks to divert the ball to Adama Traoré to his right. Just cut out by Chelsea. But that's a slight half chance for Wolves there. They just need to be careful, Chelsea, they don't lose possession in those areas too often. As the next commentary is on Saturday. Saturday is the date of the 30th. Everton versus Newcastle, 12:30 UK time. Ziyech down the line towards Hudson-Odoi. Back in towards Ziyech. Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi again towards the byline. Slide tackle from Aït-Nouri. Puts it behind for a corner, not allowing any crosses from Hudson-Odoi to go in again like the first one he put in, which went right across the face of goal. Giroud probably should have at least got a touch onto it, but zipped right past him. But they've got a chance here over Hudson-Odoi. Corner. An outswinger is with the right boot. Lifted in. It's towards Havertz. It's a Willy Bolly who wins the header. Away to Jorginho on the edge. Brings it down. Going towards the opposite corner flag. He's able to keep it in and release it to Rudiger. Back to Kovacic. To Ziyech. Pinged ball to the right hand side towards Hudson-Odoi. He's able to bring it down. Tackled by Aït-Nouri. And he's in the corner flag and gets it down the line. Deflects off the chest of Hudson-Odoi. And throwing it is for Wolves in their own half. Tuchel just pondering on, watching his team. Obviously he's going to learn a lot from this Chelsea performance, moving on further into the future. On 7 trophies as his time as a manager, won back-to-back French titles with PSG. He was replaced by Maurizio Pochettino. Aït-Nouri throws it to Adama Traoré, but he's lost it with Havertz now on the ball. To Jorginho, back to Kovacic. They're going to go to the left-hand side, yes, with Rudiger starting the build-up. This is Ziyech, turns. I think give him more of a floating role. Ziyech moving from right to left. Jorginho, Kovacic, first-time ball behind him to Thiago Silva. Aspilicueta, Havertz. I think Havertz and Ziyech have definitely been given a free roam role in those centre attacking midfield roles, because sometimes Havertz is on the right, Ziyech on the left, and then vice versa, as Ziyech looks to thread a ball through towards Chilwell, nicely intercepted by Semedo. Bolly to now Dendoncker, takes a touch and gets his body across Chilwell to win the free kick for his team, as Wolves have come under heavy pressure in the first 12.5 minutes. Tuchel, I think he's very much a communicator on the sidelines, expresses his opinion to his teams, not silent like some managers. He will be vocal, the German. Did have a 2.35 points per game ratio in all games at PSG. That includes cup games as well, if they were giving out 3 points. So Willy Bolly has it back, sends it long and down the right hand side towards Pedro Neto. Rudiger lets it go over his head and hooks it over his head down the line towards Chilwell, headed on. Ruben Neves is there, but met by Olivier Giroud, and he's able to flick it onto Havertz, more centrally placed in the pitch. Or on the pitch, shall I say. Now it's Ziyech looking over the top and around the corner towards Giroud. He can't win that header. Max Kilman does instead. Finds Dendoncker and takes his time and can distribute to Aït-Nouri on the left. He will bring it forward. The Algerian left back has to turn backwards and lays it off to Kilman. Now Cody. Back to Kilman again on the left. The left-footed centre-half looks round towards the Chelsea defence to put under pressure, but there was no Wolves attacker to take the ball forward from the pass, and Chelsea once again have possession. Mateo Kovacic, heavy touch. Pedence out for the last 3 Premier League games with a thigh injury. Couldn't quite nick the ball from the heavy touch. Thiago Silva to Kovacic. Risky ball through to Ziyech on the left, but he gets there. Out now to Ben Chilwell. 1-on-1 with Semedo. Looks to go inside and finds Ziyech. Tries to complete a 1-2. Semedo does read that one. Neves now has it to Neto, who has to look behind into his centre-half to Bolly. So out to Neves. Behind him and once again to the captain, Conor Cody. 257th appearance for the club. He's been there since 2015, joining from Huddersfield Town. As we don't know as well, he is Scouser. Supported Liverpool as a boy. He was at Liverpool for a little bit, made 1 Premier League appearance for them. It was only a late substitute appearance for Conor Cody when it was against Fulham away. Neves in the midfield has lost it to Havertz and he'll burst forward and he'll keep running into the box. Can Conor Cody stop him? He does get there. As almost like a slide challenge, Havertz is a shot because he knew Conor Cody was getting there, slid in. I don't know if it was to avoid Conor Cody taking it and going around him and taking it forward, or I'm not sure, but he picked up the ball from a Neves loss of possession, just kept running, got away from Dendoncker and Willy Boly. He went against trying to challenge Havertz just in case he gave away a free kick or maybe penalty because he was getting towards the box, and Conor Cody got there. He slid around the corner, Havertz to try and keep the ball for his team, but it went straight to Rui Patricio. But it's positive play as Conor Cody dinked it to Dendoncker, flicked on towards Neto, easy win of a header for Thiago Silva. Now it's Jorginho to Ziyech. But it was really positive play that from Havertz, picking it up and just running at Wolves and just hoping he can create something. It's what we like to see for Havertz. You know, not the greatest of starts. 5 goals in 24 appearances in all competitions. This is 25th as a ball dinked over the top, looking forward to the Doi by Thiago Silva's been cut out by Aït-Nouri. Kilman to Aït-Nouri. Aspilicueta gets there, tackles, but the touch falls to Max Kilman again. Down the line to Aït-Nouri. He does find him in the end and he can burst into the space. Met by the strength of Aspilicueta and has to turn back and find Ruben Neves as Watkins has give Villa the lead away against Burnley. Bolly to Neto, heavy touch, tackled by Kovacic. Havertz gets it to Rudiger, back to Kovacic again in the midfield area, and Chelsea will come at Wolves again. It's been very positive play. So whenever you get a new manager, there's going to be a new lease of life in the team as Havertz is now on the ball. To Kovacic. Yeah, Frank Lampard, the 84 games he survived as manager, 44 wins, 25 losses within that. You know, when you look at it like that, it's not the greatest of records really. But he still felt, given time, he could turn things around. It was his first blip in December. They were top of the Premiership. See how times can change. Hudson-Odoi works across off the chest of Kilman, laid it off to Neves, left-footed ball out wide left to Pedence, inside towards Neves again. Met by the challenge of Ziyech, which the referee deems a challenge, as Neves just clutches at the right leg. But I think he will be okay as he pulls up his socks on the left knee, up to the left knee and the right knee. The Moroccan of Ziyech, yeah, his foot was just raised with the boot, with the studs up. Nothing too sinister or dangerous, but definitely a booking. He went for the ball, missed it. Definite foul for Hakim Ziyech, who actually missed the reverse fixture in this game of this season due to injury. He'll be looking to make a difference today as the ball launched forward from the free kicks cut out by Aspilicueta. Hudson-Odoi to Ziyech. To Jorginho, who's one of 2 holding midfielders. Kovacic is the one who's on the ball now. This is Chilwell, formerly of Leicester City. So they're doing quite well without him. They brought in Castagne, which I thought was a great replacement for Ben Chilwell. Let's go over to the opposite side, using Thiago Silva. It's now with Azpilicueta to Thiago Silva again. Kovacic just on the halfway line. Thiago Silva. Ziyech is making some moves for him, but decides to go back out wide left to Chilwell. He's got a bit of room here. Number 21. Feeds Havertz down the line. Bolly's there to meet him, but gets a low cross in, cut out by Cody. His touch has gone to Dendoncker. Now Penent, back to goal, turns, shifts the ball out wide right to Neto. He's going to get there. He's got Thiago Silva and Kovacic surrounding him. He's able to twist away and turn away from Thiago Silva. Chilwell's making it his way back, but he does work a right-footed cross in. It's speculative to say the least, and Mendy and Azpilicueta can watch it go out for a goal kick. Unfortunate from Pedro Neto, 5'8", the Portuguese international. One appearance for Portugal. There's a lot of the Portuguese players in this Wolves team were called up. Prudence and Neto were the two main figures who got the appearances. Neto's game against Andorra. But I love Neto this season. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league, Pedro Neto. He's got serious skill. Four goals, 2 assists. We have spoke just before about how he did score the 95th minute winner in this reverse fixture. But at the minute, it's all defensive work for Wolves as Ziyech finds Hudson-Odoi. It's been a bit of a battle between these two, Hudson-Odoi and Aït-Nouri, and Hudson-Odoi gets the better of him, launches the cross in. Conor Cody heads away only to the edge of the box. Ziyech has time to bring it down and shoots. It's an easy save for Rui Patricio. No need for a dive or anything like that. Just a shuffle of the feet over to his right to collect the ball. And launches it with a kick out of his hand towards Pedence. Rudiger with a little bit of argy-bargy is able to win the ball back for Chelsea and have it to Mendy. Yeah, in the description is the Instagram where I post updates of when or what commentaries are coming up, and my TikTok as well page, Football Commentaries YT. I put a video of how I prepare for my notes for this game. Part 1 and 2 are up, and they're the only 2 parts that are going to be coming. I might do more in the future. They're there, and I spoke about my prediction for this game. So if you're interested, go and check that out as well. Make sure you follow that page. Will be a lot of content coming out because they're easier to make. You know, it's only like 1-minute videos, and I enjoy doing them. They're quite fun actually. Ziyech looks for Giroud, avoids him, and Conor Cody can just spill slowly into the hands of Rui Patricio. 95th Premier League appearance for Rui Patricio. Only 25 clean sheets so far. But he's a very solid pair of hands in between the sticks. Again, he launches it forward. Rudiger heads it only to his right to Pedence, and he's on the edge. He can run forward. I think he's caught Pedence in the face there, and it's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the box, just to the right of the centre of the box. So more than likely going to be positioned for a left-footed strike there. And let's see if this was intentional. He's bearing down on goal, went cut onto his right foot and just caught by the upper arm of Rudiger's left arm. Just caught him with that part of his arm right across the face. That would have been a painful one. He was going at some speed there, Pedence. Just looked to cut onto his right foot and probably get a shot away because he was right on the edge, around 19, 20 yards out away from goal here. Neves range, that's for sure. Try to cut across Rudiger, and as he's come across to try and stop him from going forward, he just caught him in the face. And I don't think it was intentional, but it's definitely a free kick nonetheless. Antonio Rudiger escapes the yellow card. It's his 5th appearance against Wolves. That would have been his 2nd yellow in the fixture. He's only picked up 1 beforehand. And despite all the early pressure from Chelsea in the first 21.5 minutes, that could all be cut out and replaced with conceding a goal instead of scoring one. Neves, who scored his first goal in the box in the Premier League out of the 8 goals he scored against Everton in a 2-1 loss. This could be another one from outside the box. It would usually prefer a left footer, but he is right-footed and he could get it over the wall if he can get the dip. Ruben Neves on the keeper's side. It's always rising over the bar. Poor technique really from Ruben Neves. Expected a lot better from the young midfielder. I think that was more for Neto, that left footer. But decided to go with the right boot of Neves and went for the keeper's side and was always going over the bar. So we do continue with Chilwell at left back, looking for a ball towards Hudson-Odoi, cut out by Kilman again. Jorginho goes for the loose ball, but Neves wins it. Pedence back heel to Dendoncker, fed back through towards Pedence, runs into the Brazilian wall of Thiago Silva. Very, very impressive, strong challenge. And Chelsea have the ball with Ziyech, and he's just stopped play. And the referee has blown his whistle as the collision between the two players have left them both a little bit hurt. Pedence in the walls again. Thiago Silva is back on his feet though. just collided into each other. Won the ball fairly, Thiago Silva, strong challenge, but they just met face on. Just kind of ran into each other a little bit. Penance should be okay. Not as bad as the challenge Antonio Rudiger left on him. But he might have been a landing maybe, actually, because he's saying his right knee's hurting, and he's just come back from a thigh problem. Penance, he has missed the last 3 league games, like I just mentioned before. He's on 3 goals for the year. What is it? Is his knee? I think it's his knee. So it might have been a landing or a bash of knees. I'm not too sure. 2 medical staff are on. They're going to get spray his knee. Hudson-Odoi talking to Thomas Tuchel. He could really have a bright future. Callum Hudson-Odoi, I really do believe that under Thomas Tuchel. He's still only the age of 20, and you know how interested Bayern Munich were in Callum Hudson-Odoi. So Tuchel, being a German manager himself, would definitely have heard and seen Hudson-Odoi before. So I think if you can get the best out of him, he can be a top player, Hudson-Odoi. Just getting a few instructions off his new manager. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you aren't subscribed, please do. That'd be fantastic. Like I said, next commentary coming up in a couple of days' time on Saturday, 12:30, Everton versus Newcastle. 1 new subscriber, whoever that was, thank you very much. And yeah, I hope to see some of you subscribing as well. Following the TikTok. I thought it's definitely something I want to get into. I think TikTok's a great social media platform to grow on. I really do think it is. My first TikTok, the part 1 of my showing you my preparations before a game. Despite not many people following, only 5 followers, 32 likes between the 3 main videos I've done. First one got 232 views, 65 the second part, and my Chelsea v Wolves prediction on 21 views. So, despite people aren't following, they're definitely getting the videos on the For You pages, which is fantastic. Penance back on his feet as Andy Madley has the ball, and we'll just drop it, I think, to Thiago Silva because Chelsea were in possession of the ball before the whistle had to be blown. Ball dropped, and we are back on the way. Thiago Silva playing it to Kovacic. I think Penance has just had to go off the pitch for now. And he's back on. With Giroud back to Kovacic again. Dinks ball, looking for Hudson-Odoi. Comes off the top of the head of Aït-Nouri. And that's going to be, I would say, a cheap corner for Chelsea. Just a launched ball, and he wasn't really able to get off his feet off the ground, so he just had to kind of let it glance off the back of his head and out for a corner. Chelsea concede from this. I think if Wolves concede from this and Chelsea score, I think it'll definitely be a goal they look at and go, that was more avoidable than anything else. Short corner to Hudson-Odoi, to Ziyech. He gets the crossing deflected. It loops, headed on by Traore to Rudiger at the back post. Turns and has a left-footed swing and deflects off Dendoncker, and it's going to be a corner on the opposite side for Chelsea. Went short this time. Will they just put it in the box for this one, or will they go for short again? Ziyech outswinger, left-footed cross. It's been put in, a little bit of power on it towards the back post. Giroud heads it on into the box. Rudiger's there. Semedo will nod it forward into his path and do it again, and then hoof it away towards Penance. Hudson-Odoi's going to try and avoid him from getting into possession of the ball. Bit of scrap in there, and it's Penance who comes away with it. And that's actually a Hudson-Odoi free kick it'll be. They say Penance actually fouled Hudson-Odoi, which I'm not sure. I think it's just a 50-50 to be honest, and Penance came out on top. I think that's a bit of a harsh free kick to give away, but it's just inside the Wolves half. And it's now back in the Chelsea half with Rudiger. Thiago Silva did play the full 90 minutes in the reverse fixture. Thiago Silva. Jorginho into Ziyech, back to Jorginho again. Brings it forward. He's got Ziyech in a little bit of space, but there's no space for the pass, and Wolves have it back, and they've worked it to the right hand side to Traore. Can't quite go forward yet. Finds Neves just alongside him, and he goes to his right to Penance, who's just a little bit deeper with the ball at the minute, and looks around the corner towards Nelson Semedo. Didn't quite anticipate the pass there, Semedo, but he chases Chilwell down, and Chilwell leaves it for Mendy, who just has to kick it out for a throw-in quite far up the pitch here for Wolves, so they can push out and again relieve, like I said before, a little bit of this pressure, because this pressure has been sustained by Chelsea for the first 27.5 minutes of play. Mason Mount going from captain in the FA Cup to on the bench in the Premier League for this game against Wolves. Like I said, I don't think there'd be much in. I wouldn't read too much into this lineup, too, because I had one training session and that's it. And Connor Cody's having to be met by the medical staff as he's got a bloody nose. Not sure how he got that from him, probably from going for an aerial ball. Could be okay, just getting the treatment he needs. I'm not showing a replay of where this injury was sustained, but he should be okay, Conor Cody. Did miss the one game this season in the Premier League because he had to isolate for a little while. Conor Cody is yet to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. His head collision, he's just getting tested because obviously they're bringing in concussion substitutions. He's just having to follow the eye. The medic's doing that little trick where you've got to follow the eye with your eyes, make sure you're all okay. Going like that, then his eyes were going all over the place. They've got to be extra careful. One eye now, I think this is just extra precautions they're having to take. Chelsea players are complaining of why the game isn't continuing because really they should be taking Conor Cody off the pitch and doing this off the pitch, but obviously he's their main centre-back and captain. A few checks have been made. I think he'll be okay to continue. I don't think it was anything serious. It was more of a bloody nose. I don't think it was a head collision of much sorts, because obviously concussion substitutions are in now, so they've got to be extra careful with when they allow someone to continue, because the whole rule has come from the Jimenez incident against Arsenal away. So Wolves are going to be the most careful as they've won another throw-in right in that corner flag, Wolves, as they were stuck in the corner. I don't know if Cody's back on the pitch yet, not too sure, can't quite see. Sorry about that. That actually scared me a little bit, that. Sorry, they don't usually do it too often. Just when someone comes into the house. And now Chelsea have a throw-in. I'm presuming Wolves lost possession. I'm sorry about that. I just got a little bit sidetracked. Show of a long throw towards Giroud, chests it down and hooks it on towards Jorginho, and he helps it on to Aspilicueta. To Ziyech on the right. He's going to enter the Wolves half now. So they want to score probably before half-time. That'd be a nice cushion for Tuchel to have. Ziyech finds Hudson-Odoi in behind. Is able to get a crossing towards the back post where Chilwell can strike it in. Doesn't quite get the conviction on it as Semedo kind of threw his body towards the ball, and I think it just put Chilwell off getting a real strike on it. Would have been similar to the goal he scored against Crystal Palace, where he wandered in from the back post and volleyed home a cross or a ball into the box and kind of sliced it a little bit as Tuchel bounced around in circles, thinking that was going to nestle into the back of the net, but unfortunately not. For the new manager. There's a goal kick for Wolves. They're not really showing the game at the minute, they're showing Ben Chilwell, but here we go. Max Kilman around the corner looking for Neto. Can he outmuscle Thiago Silva? He can, and he can just hook the ball towards Traore, but he just slipped on the turf, and Rudiger can just help it back to Mendy, and that's unfortunate for Wolves that he lost his foot in there, Adama Traore. Chilwell. Havertz back to Rudiger again. To Edouard Mendy in the 18-yard box. Thiago Silva it is. 7 league titles for PSG. He won, obviously 2 of them under Thomas Tuchel. Here he is on the ball again. Over to Antonio Rudiger. Ben Chilwell inside to Kovacic. Over to Thiago Silva again. Just keeping the ball away from the players in orange shirts and black shorts of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Kovacic over to Chilwell. Lay off to Havertz. Back to Chilwell. First time ball over to Antonio Rudiger in the centre-back position we are in. And it's Thiago Silva with a digs ball looking towards Chilwell. Bounces off the chest of the young full-back and then tries to go inside towards Giroud. Cut out by Neves, and he can find the ball to Pedro Neto. He's getting surrounded by blue shirts on the right-hand side, but knocks it off Kovacic and wins the throw-in for his team. Nicely won by Pedro Neto. Poor ball inside there by Chilwell, trying to find Olivier Giroud. 6th start in the league for Olivier Giroud. Looking for his 10th goal in all competitions this year. Semedo throws it into Penance. Back towards Willy Bolly. who scored and assisted in the 3-2 defeat they suffered against West Brom. Big rivalry, West Brom and Wolves, so a poor loss to concede in the league table. So let's try and forget that and get back onto winning ways. Neves finds Traore inside to Neto, out wide right to Nelson Semedo. 1-on-1 with Benjamin Chilwell. Gets an early cross in, bounces off the knee of Chilwell and wins the corner for his team there. Nelson Semedo. I think he's won a corner, and that will be the first corner for Wolves in the game. If Wolves are able to nick a win, it will be their 70th Premier League win in their history, in their 248th game in the competition. They've already completed the 50 clean sheet landmark, but they have conceded more than they've scored, 396 to 276. Can they add to that tally of 276? Flick shot to Pedence, now out wide to Semedo, gets a cross in, headed away by Thiago Silva, falls to Neves on the edge, helps it back in, and Thiago Silva again is the one who headed away, falls to Neves, who just nods it to his right to Neto. Back to Semedo, being forced backwards as well to Conor Cody, who lets the ball run across his body, and he has to go all the way back to Patricio. Great pressing and great defending from Chelsea to force Wolves all the way back to their own box, and also making Wolves have to wait for everyone to get back into their normal positions as the Rui Patricio kick has gone all as far as Kovacic, whose head has gone off Neves, and he looks to launch it towards Semedo, and it's gone out of play, and Tuchel gives the ball quickly to Chilwell, looking for a quick throw in, but the option wasn't on in the end. Chilwell still with it. He's looking for movement from his team, and he'll throw it short to Giroud. Back off to Chilwell. Tackled fairly, I thought, by Semedo. That's a shocking decision by Andy Madley, the referee. Semedo won the ball fairly from Chilwell, and he's deemed it a free kick. That is an awful decision by the referee, and it will be Kovacic to take quickly back to Rudiger. A little bit of news coming out of Stamford Bridge. He has been one of the problems under Frank Lampard because of his lack of playing time. He's caused a few issues. Apparently bullying the academy players and having an attitude with Captain Azpilicueta. Obviously that's just rumours, but if that is the fact, he needs to turn that around now with a new manager. Doesn't want to leave a bad legacy among his players. Just Azpilicueta inside to Ziyech, who just dropped deep for the ball because he has to lay it off to Thiago Silva. Jorginho. I'm surprised Pulisic is on the bench as well. Did work under Thomas Tuchel in his time at Borussia Dortmund. He does sit on the bench though. Havertz. Jorginho. Over to Mateo Kovacic. Antonio Rudiger. Kovacic again. Looks to burst into a bit of room he's got in the midfield. Lays it off to Giroud. His layoff back to Kovacic is a little bit high, but he's able to bring it down, Kovacic, and find Chilwell. To Ziyech. Behind him he goes to Rudiger. Wolves not really giving much room and time and space for Chelsea to adventure forward into their own half. Keeping it defensively solid. Havertz. To Jorginho, first time ball looking for Giroud in the box. It's Conor Cody who cuts it out and volley hooks it away to Traore, who wins his header, but that header's gone straight to Thiago Silva, who avoided it from getting to Daniel Pedence. Rudiger back to Mateo Kovacic. Thiago Silva, no real clear-cut chances since the cross from Hudson-Odoi that went right across goal as they've lost the ball again. Chelsea with sloppy possession. It's Pedence to Semedo, looks to get beyond Chilwell, and he's dragged down by the arm, and that'll be a free kick towards Wolves instead of the opposite way around. Semedo feels like he's got his own back there on Chilwell. Tuchel's talking to his staff about what he thinks needs to be improved by his Chelsea squad in this first half. Free kick to be taken. That'll be Willy Bolly. Over to Conor Cody, who was actually substituted for, I think, the first time in the Premier League in that game against West Brom when they were losing, as Pedence gave a really poor ball away, and so is Jorginho. That was a real chance for Chelsea to get away, but they've won it back with Ziyech now. Moves it away from Dendoncker. It's now Jorginho to Havertz on the right hand side. Going to look to get it onto his left. Just lays it off to Hudson-Odoi. In towards Jorginho. Behind him, cannons off the referee But he allows play to continue because it fell to Thiago Silva. Now Antonio Rudiger, around 40 yards away from goal. Back to Thiago Silva again. Dinked ball to the left-hand side. Can he find Chilwell? He can. First time lay off to Ziyech, back towards Chilwell. He's able to chest it down. Nelson Semedo launches into the ground. That's going to be another free kick. This referee's had an appalling start to the game. I really don't think that was a foul on Chilwell there. Again, they've both just gone for the ball and Chilwell's just launched himself to the ground more than anything, and he's won a free kick in a really dangerous area. This is Ziyech's prime crossing area. Be another outswinger on the angle as well. This could be real danger for Wolves. Thank you to everyone who is liking and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do. It'd be fantastic support. A right arm raised by Ziyech and a cross into the box towards the back post. It's Rudiger who heads it on at the near post. Down to his left, Rui Patricio is. And he's able to save it comfortably, I'd say. No real power and conviction on the header. An easy save. It's now Penance, who's dropped deep for the ball. Goes to the left to 8 Nori. Closed down by Hudson-Odoi and gets it off the young winger to win the throw-in for his team there, 8 Nori. Chelsea need to show a bit more creativity into the game. That's 100%. They've got a lot of the ball, but not many chances, like I said just before. And hello, I recognise you from the TikTok. You've commented on quite a few of them, and you're a follower as well. So thank you for joining the stream. As Penance has been set free here down the left, cuts inside onto his right foot and plays a reverse pass to Neto down the left-hand side. He gets it onto his left, works across to Dendoncker, who heads it on. Just over the bar it goes. First real Wolves chance of the game, and it comes in the 39th minute of play. Penance was just set away on the left-hand side, held it up for Neto, was able to get it to him down the left, worked a lovely curled cross in, and then it would have been a fantastic header if it did reach the goal, because he was about 12 yards away. Towards the penalty spot he was, in fact. Now, Jorginho. Like we say, not much creativity, a lot of the ball, but nothing really showing the sparks of what this Chelsea squad can bring with the players they've got, you know, the quality they have at their disposal. So it's Havertz works it to Chilwell again. He's pushed forward. He's got an overlap of Havertz, but has to just keep running backwards and find Rudiger as the space has been completely shut out. Thiago Silva. Ball dinked over into the box looking for Havertz. He's able to bring it down. What a touch, but tackle by Semedo falls to Giroud. Keeps it alive for Chelsea with Ben Chilwell. Havertz. Chilwell back to Rudiger again. It's a great touch by Havertz to bring it down and couldn't quite take it into his possession in the end as Silva goes inside to Ziyech. Kovacic, Jorginho out wide right to Azpilicueta, who is part of the movement of #United, linked up with Spencer FC. You might know who he is if you know #United. I think he's like an ambassador of the club or something like that. But his main worry of concern tonight is for Chelsea. Thiago Silva again goes for that ball towards Chilwell, who's still pushed right into that final third, and he's able to bring it down. And that fantastic touch has been met by an offside flag, unfortunately, for Chelsea. As we still have a stalemate at Stamford Bridge, but positive play from Chelsea, but just nothing of real conviction to show their dominance of possession. If you do want to subscribe to the second channel, so that is down in the description. I'm hopefully going to have a few streams going out soon, but school's been so busy as of late. I've not really had time to post content onto the second channel. As Patricio gives it over to Max Kilman. That's 8 Nori. Down the line, cut out by Azpilicueta, but falls straight back to 8 Nori. Tries to get past Jorginho. Good strong challenge in the midfield, and it falls to Ziyech. Pokes it towards Havertz. Back to Ziyech. They're able to come out with the ball there, Chelsea. Good midfield play by the names included. There's now Kovacic to Jorginho. Shifts it to his left to Kovacic again. Space there for Ziyech on the right. Decides to go in a full circle and backwards to Thiago Silva. Azpilicueta in the right back area, just above the halfway line. Ziyech back to Azpilicueta. Has to let it run a little bit behind him to make sure he keeps hold of possession. Thiago Silva to Ziyech. Left the ball behind him, so has to go back to retrieve it. Finds Jorginho. Rudiger planted on the halfway line. And a ball forward, lifted towards Hudson-Odoi. Kilman is there to nod it down to Aït-Nouri, who launches it back towards the Chelsea defence, and it's Thiago Silva who gets there. With a touch down, and it falls to Kovacic. Now Chilwell. Kovacic nearly dispossessed by Pedro Neto. He's able to keep it away from him and work his way past Adama Traore. Now Chilwell into Rudiger. Nearly at half time. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. Can they call upon the likes of an Abraham or a Werner to maybe switch the way of this game? Ziyech it is. To Jorginho, all in the Wolves half this is. Into Kovacic, first time ball towards Havertz. He's able to get it out of his feet and played to Rudiger. Kovacic, Havertz. Kovacic again. Thiago Silva. Ziyech threads it through the gap to Hudson-Odoi. Went for the pullback. Cannoned off Aït-Nouri again. And out for another corner. Really slick passing from Ziyech there to get it through the gap of Aït-Nouri and Kilman on that left-hand side of the defensive Wolves. Freddie through. Hudson-Odoi got there. Was able to get a pullback. But he did come off the left wing-back of Aït-Nouri last, number 3. As he was on the bench in that 2-1 win for Wolves in the last game between these two sides. Hudson-Odoi. It's a cross in. It's towards Havertz. And there's a foul on Willy Bolly within the taking of that corner. I think Chilwell was the one who actually fouled him in the end, which is quite strange. 5'10" Ben Chilwell going up against 6'5" Willy Bolly, but the foul and the free kick's been given by the referee, who I don't think has covered himself in the greatest of light with his first half performance. I know we're easy to criticise referees, but he's not really made too many great decisions this game, especially Chilwell versus Semedo on the battles they've been having. We're having it the 45th minute, and 3 minutes will be added on due to the injuries of mainly Wolves players, Podence and Connor Cody. This is heading on in the midfield area, and it's Giroud who wins the final header and knocks it down to Ziyech, who then finds Callum Hudson-Odoi. This is all from the Wolves goal kick, takes it away from Podence and now finds Ziyech. Havertz around 25 yards away from goal. Spins, left-footed ball to his right to Ziyech, now Hudson-Odoi. Azpilicueta, Ziyech, switch ball, looking for Chilwell. Brings it down, invites the challenger Semedo and is tackled for a throw-in for Chelsea. Oh, I forgot to turn it on. I do apologise. I apologise, it's my fault. There you go, some lighting. I'm sorry, I completely forgot to, because I'm so used to not having it on, because I only did my first stream with it, as Jorginho give away possession, as Kovacic looked to complete a 1-2 with him, out for a throw-in. Because I've literally only bought it last week, and I did my first stream with it on Friday, for Gladbach versus Dortmund. I just completely forgot about it, so I do apologise, but hopefully that is a little bit better for you guys. I think it's a massive improvement. As Semedo's throw-in's gone down the line to Traore, tackled by Rudiger, and this next throw is going to be more towards the halfway line now. But yeah, if the lighting is any better, just let me know, because I think that would just make a big improvement. I just completely forgot about it, because obviously it's just new equipment, and I just need to remember to turn it on. Semedo still with a throw. Coach Podence can't find a first-time ball towards Traore. It's Havertz who comes away with it to Ziyech, over to Azpilicueta. Ziyech is asking for the ball in the middle again, and he will use him and just distribute to Rudiger. Kovacic. Ziyech. Kovacic. Havertz, who's found himself on the left-hand side. It's Kovacic again. Hi Matthew. If you want to have a chat, I'll just finish this second half. What do we think of this first half? What are we thinking for a second half, for a half-time chat? What are we thinking? Good, bad, boring? I hope it's not been boring. I hope I've described it a little bit better than it not to be boring. Hudson-Odoi, they've worked it to the right-hand side. He's going to try and take on Aït-Nouri. He's going to go inside to Giroud. First time left to Ziyech. He then finds a cross towards Havertz. Willy Bolly will win his header. But he will only fall as far as Chilwell. His ball's cannoned off. Pedro Neto will chase Kovacic. He gets there first and is able to distribute to Rudiger, who finds Jorginho's play continues. Havertz to Chilwell. Back to Kovacic, who just slipped, but he's able to keep the ball in his possession. 25 seconds to go with the 3 added on. Havertz looks to find Giroud in behind. I think he's asking too much of Giroud as he played it along the ground. Giroud asked for it off the ground, and again, no real chance coming from it. And He has won the goal kick, Wolves, and I think that will be the end of the first half. We have just played right now the 3 minutes of additional time, and I think as soon as Patricio punts this up the field, I think we'll have the half-time whistle of Andy Madley. There we go. Patricio launches it in the air. Whistle has been blown by Andy Madley, and we do have the first half and the first 45 minutes of Thomas Tuchel's reign over at Stamford Bridge. They do go in at half-time 0-0. Only one real chance, I'd say, for Chelsea of real concern. It was a flash ball across the box by Hudson-Odoi. It met absolutely nobody. Giroud tried to get there, but missed the ball, as he did attempt to get a touch onto it. And then for Wolves, they had half chances at most, I would say. A Dendoncker header, and that was really about it for Wolves. No real chances, a lot of Chelsea possession, and we have a 0-0 at half time. Not the most glamorous of football games I've ever seen in my life, but positives at least for Chelsea to take the fact that they're dominating the ball and they, are looking a little bit more confident under Thomas Tuchel in this first 45 minutes. But like I said, a new manager always brings a new lease of confidence. But if you're on the stream, especially Matthew, if you have TikTok, follow my page. It is in the description. The name of it is Football Commentaries YT. I'll actually show you the videos I made on there, because I can do that, because I'm so skillful. I'm joking. Here it is, as you can see. So part 1 got 232 views, and that was just part 1 of how I prepare for commentary. Oh, you are there. Sorry, I completely forgot. I completely forgot. I do apologise. You have commented. I apologise. Yeah, 25 likes. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear that? Can you hear the video when it played? I hope you couldn't. Yeah, 25 likes. Okay, you can't. You can't. Okay, good. I don't want to get copyright struck by playing a KSI song. But yeah, that was really fun to record. There's me talking, as always. There we go. Look at it. I checked that out. Part 2, my prediction for this game. As you can see there, I said 2-1 to Chelsea, and then me just telling I was going live. That video will be deleted after the stream. So make sure you follow it. Give it a like as well. Hopefully better things to come from that. But if we've got any more subscribers, we have got the 547, and that's going to stay that way. Tuchel really is trying to get something out of his team. You can see new energy in the team. Yeah, he's on the sidelines as well. I think he's really energetic. Always demanding from his team, saying instructions, and that's what you expect. And I was watching Sky from when Sky Sports News when Lampard was sacked. That was Monday, and talking about Tuchel was going to be the more likely to be the replacement, and I heard that Tuchel, if he was to be compared to anyone, it's Pep Guardiola in terms of the way he manages. That demanding factor of always wanting every little percent from his players and every little detail on that pitch he will cover with instructions and just his input into his team. So that's what I've heard. He's more of a Guardiola. He seems very energetic and bubbly in front of the press. And when he was interviewed before, he gave off a lot of good energy. So yeah, apparently he's a bit like Guardiola in the sense of his preparation for games, in terms of the input of detail he puts in. So I'm not saying he's Guardiola. I'm saying in terms of his managerial style, it's more of a Guardiola kind of vibe, not like a Jurgen Klopp. It could be a bit of a Jurgen Klopp as well. Motivator, tactician, put together. Could spring some real new life into this Chelsea team. It's a risk from the board, Roman Abramovich, but if they finish out of top 4 and do well in the Champions League, it could be seen as a stroke of genius. Or if they don't do very well and they don't get off to a kickstart, then it could be seen as a big fail for Roman Abramovich. Under PSG, he did play managed 127 games, 96 wins, 348 goals, 114 goals conceded. So decent record, you can say. under in the Champions League, under management of the Champions League for Dortmund and PSG. 35 games, 21 wins, 9 losses, 86 goals, 40 conceded. So in the Champions League, got an half decent record as well. Obviously got to the final last year under his PSG side. Did include the likes of Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Mbappe, Neymar, just to name a few. So he knows what he's doing in those competitions, and I think this will be a really, really positive managerial change for Chelsea in the long run. I actually made a video on my channel. I'll even give you the date of it. The date of it was on the 5th of January. I made a video titled Lampard In or Out. Part of my Football Talk series I do every now and then. It was episode 3 actually. And that was me basically saying Lampard should be kept on. Because at the time of recording that, they were 9th, but they were just starting the blip. And I thought, it's his first blip, pretty much what I was saying to summarise. First blip, and he shouldn't really be judged on a first blip when they were top just in December. But that's not aged too well, because now he's out of the job. So that was interesting. I want to try and make another Football Talk video about the appointment of Tuchel if I have time. Make sure you check out the Foot Manager Save as well. Rangers going into the final season, I think, of that. Season 2. Just make sure you check those episodes out. So if you're ever bored and you want something to kind of binge watch on YouTube, there's 14 episodes on the first season. And it's a really good season. Like, a lot of good stuff happening in that, especially Europa League anyway. Second channel, I've got a Match Attacks video out on the main channel if you want. It's a 53-minute video of me opening. I'll show you now. This box. If anyone's actually interested, it's a full box of cards here. Like, not touched or anything. I don't want to. You can see the full box. 500 clubs. I think a couple limited editions. If you're interested in buying this off me or purchasing it, like, obviously they're already open, but if you collect them and you want a full a full box of cards to maybe see if there's any that you might need from it, and DM me on Instagram and we can sort something out. I want to try and get rid of them because I've opted to try and collect the Adrenaline ones, the Adrenaline Premier League Panini. I've already ordered 36 packs of that to do a live stream on the second channel. That should come in a week and a half time. So that'll just be a really chill opening the cards, putting the cards in the binder, chatting, and just if anyone wants to watch, then they can. So that is going to happen. So if anyone's interested in collects them, then let me know and I can get it to you if you want it. I don't know if I told this in the last stream. I'll get it up now and I'll show you. If any of you have been a subscriber just for a couple months, you would know I did a giveaway not too long ago. And I can show you that the I think Twang Tang won it, and he actually sent me a picture. He says it fits perfectly too, which is always great. There it is. Ajax shirt with a little note I wrote for him. There it is. I think that I had to send that to, where was it? Like Sweden or something, and so I got it shipped out, and yeah. So when giveaways do happen, even if you are abroad, that doesn't mean that I'm going to make sure you don't win it because it's a hassle, because it really isn't. It's quite easy to actually get it sent off. So if there is any giveaways on the channel, make sure you always have a chance of winning. And if anyone's got any inquiries on that big box of Match Attacks, if anyone wants them, or you might know someone who might want them, or anything, let me know, and we can sort out a little negotiation, you could say, because they are just sitting there. Because Match Attacks, I think, have just really gone off the rails. Their early collections, I actually going through my old collections about a week ago, going through like 2012 binders, 2013 binders, and the cards, and just the nostalgia was so good. But now, obviously, losing the Premier League rights, or not being able to do the Premier League and having to do Champions League and Europa League, yeah, it's just not a great collection, I don't think. I just don't like it. And I actually made that video opening the booster box right before Match Attacks blew up on TikTok, so I was absolutely gutted. If I just waited a month and did like, I don't know, pack collection, so like maybe a 15 pack collection, a 15 pack opening a video, and then doing a few Match Attack opening videos for TikTok, could have helped to grow and get more views, but you know, timing it can get you sometimes. Time if you don't get certain things right exactly. But yeah, we move. I'll probably make a TikTok video from the box I'm getting, 36 pack box I'm getting soon. But yeah, the adrenaline cards, the Panini ones, I've got the bind upstairs. It looks fantastic, the cards and all that. So yeah, make sure you're there for that. About a week and a half away that is, and then I'm also getting something delivered to me on Friday. So I'll try and get that recorded Friday night and maybe get it posted maybe Monday or Tuesday, so 1st or 2nd of February. I'm basically getting delivered a certain shirt, not a mystery unboxing. If you're interested in new mystery shirt videos, if you've not seen mine, because obviously I know there are quite a bit on YouTube and TikTok, I've got 3 of my own. One was a 500 subscriber special goalkeeper mystery box, and then I got 2 other ones. One was because I bought one and did a video. Mystique Jerseys, the company who I bought it off actually saw that video and sent me a free one, so I did another video on that. So if you're interested in them, they're in a little playlist on the channel. But yeah, I'm getting something sent that I ordered, and I'm actually very excited for it to come. I think it'll be great, and I'll definitely give where I bought it from. I can't remember. I think it's like Pro Direct Soccer. I'll give them a big shout out in the video because I actually was emailed about a little problem we had with what I was ordering, and easy communication. Emailed me, I emailed them back. A minute later, got back to me. Easy communication, because on it with some companies the communication can sometimes be shocking, where you just don't know what's going to happen. But with them, easy communication, sorted the problem out, and then boom, done. Sent away it was to me. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting video. Hopefully, I hope it does well, because it's quite a cool thing I've done, and I hope it gets some decent views. I hope people do see it. In terms of kick off for the second half, it'll literally be in about, I think, a minute's time. I wonder what Tuchel said at half time in that changing room. I'd be very interested to have a listen. But I don't think he'll be too disheartened with the lack of chances, but it'll be something he wants to see from his team. It's great having possession, but if you don't create anything with it, then what's the point? And for Nuno Espirito Santo, I think he'll just be like, play the same, just try and be a bit more deadly on the counter-attack and keep the ball a bit better. Yeah. So I just need to send a message just very quickly. Sorry about this. You know, before a commentary when you accidentally forget to feed the dogs. That's my job, feeding the dogs. Which you would have definitely heard if you've been in this stream for the whole time. So there we go. But yeah, I don't know what's taking so long for this second half. They're still on the adverts. I know it's 3 minutes added on, but we're at 7:03 now. Just have a look as well at the other Premier League results. I didn't see any more updates on that Burnley-Aston Villa game. Yeah, still 1-0 to Villa. Ashley? Ollie Watkins goal. Still adverts. What's going on? Where's the game? I want the game to start again. The game to start again. I'm interested. Anyone play Fantasy League as well? I've had a blinder. I can't lie. I had Soucek in my team. Scored 2 goals. I put Cancelo in my team as well. Goal and an assist. Did put Foden, which I was a little bit annoyed about because it was either him or Gundogan I was going to put in, and Foden scored a blank. For today, I've got Salah, Fernandes, Justin. Watkins is in my team as well. Beautiful. But United also play tonight. Sheffield United at home. They need to win that to keep track with Manchester City, as they did win 5-0 yesterday, which was quite a scary performance. I did watch it. Dangerous Manchester City, I'd say. Gundogan was unreal. Even though Foden scored a blank, he was still, pivotal to the performance. Let's have a look for this Villa goal. Grealish to target, low cross by target, got there ahead of Ben Mee. Right-footed shot outside of the boot, just guided it to the far post. It is a beautiful Villa goal, actually, that. Good goal from Ollie Watkins. He's just been getting back into the goals as of late. As Azpilicueta leads the Chelsea players back out for the second half, as we will get back underway. About time. Thomas Tuchel is he's the first coach to get back onto the sidelines. I wonder what he would have said. Obviously, a bit more urgency, I think, a bit quicker. Try to find those more clear-cut passes, get cut through the defence of Wolves. He's already given instructions. He's already out of his seat giving instructions. I'm not quite sure what he's saying. I don't know if the camera's picking it up because obviously I have to watch it on mute. He's actually giving Azpilicueta instructions. The camera might be picking it up, but obviously I can't hear it. So it'd be interesting if they could actually pick up what he was saying there. Thomas Tuchel, as Pulisic just goes over to him and gives him a few words. Looks like he's more advising Tuchel than anything. It ends with them two both laughing. Again, don't know what that conversation was about. Obviously Tuchel and Pulisic were once together at Borussia Dortmund, so they do know each other quite well. We have had a change here for Wolves. Half-time change. It is Ait-Nouri, who had a little bit of a tough battle against Callum Hudson-Odoi on the Wolves' left-hand side. Has been replaced by, his name is Kian Hoover, signed from Liverpool, who made 4 senior appearances for Wolves with 1 goal against MK Dons. Other than that, this is his 5th Premier League appearance. So we had the 1 start against United away, which they did lose in the dying embers of that match. So I'm presuming he'll play left wing back, or will he go to right wing back, and will we have a change in positions? Let's have a look. Anyway, Chelsea attacking left to right, Wolves right to left. We are underway with Kovacic getting it through to Ziyech. Tries to play it through towards Hudson-Odoi. He's in behind, pulls it back, and it falls to Kai Havertz, who's been taken down in the box. And he's asking for a penalty because he was just checked out away from the ball there. No intention of playing the ball there. Semedo caught out as he's been moved to left wing back. Ball put in. It just fell behind Havertz, so his right foot, his trailing foot got a touch to the ball and took it forward. And it was going out for a corner. It's again Thomas Tuchel bouncing up on the touchline. A lot of energy. Nothing being given though from it. It was just a Wolves goal kick, as the last touch did come from the Havertz, a heavy touch. As Azpilicueta couldn't quite get a ball to a man in the shirt of blue, and it's a throw-in for Wolves. On the left-hand side, it is Semedo who's moved over to the left wing-back position, and Kian Hoover is in right wing-back position. It's Havertz. That's for the penalty, because he did get just checked out there by Semedo, just going across him. No real intention of playing the ball, but referee VAR said no, as Chelsea have won the ball back, with Wolves being sloppy in the midfield areas again, and it's Ziyech over to Ben Chilwell. Back to Ziyech, over to Kovacic. Jorginho, touch, and just knocked to the side again to Kovacic. Thiago Silva it is on the ball. Finds Hudson-Odoi. New person to have to face now. Semedo's already got him behind him once. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Azpilicueta gets it to Mendy, now to Rudiger again. Pulisic was good under Frank Lampard. I think he might be a lot better under Tuchel, as obviously they've already worked together. Ball looking for Giroud. Cut out by Cody. It's now Hoover to Neves. Lays it off to Bolly on the edge of the box. Takes 1 touch, 2 touch, a third, 4th, 5th. Then a clearance. Cannons off Kai Havertz, and a throw-in for Wolves it will be. But honestly, Thomas Tuchel on the touchline, any little chance of anything he gets excited about. Bounces up and down on the touchline like a little boy at Christmas finding all of his presents under the tree. So honestly, it's a bit like that. Just so excited and getting a bit energetic over anything. It's Kiana Hoover with the throwing down the line. Can't find Traore. It falls to Antonio Rudiger. Finds Thiago Silva. Taking his time to pick a pass. Former PSG, AC Milan centre-half. As Ben Mee, who actually was trying to mark Ollie Watkins and lost him for the goal, has scored himself in the 52nd minute. So Burnley back level against Aston Villa. They've worked it to Hudson-Odoi, to Ziyech, tackled by Max Kilman, who I think has been really good for Wolves. Finds Neto. Pedence looks through the run of Neto again. Thiago Silva comes to cover. Feeds it down the line to Hudson-Odoi. First time ball to Jorginho. Finds Havertz in the middle. To Kovacic. Havertz again. Swept over to Chilwell on the left-hand side. We'll bring it forward. Look for a switch towards Hudson-Odoi and finds him. Brings him down. Looks to go inside. And then finds Ziyech on the edge of the box. Cut out once again. And Wolves can bring it away with Pedence. Gets it out wide right to Traore. Just too much on it. And he has to try and get there ahead of Chilwell. Falls on his backside does Traore. Good defending by Chilwell. And Chelsea once again have the ball. If Pedence was able to just take a bit off that pass, Traore was away there. And with the pace he's got, he could have really got him behind. But it's Chilwell. To Kovacic. Jorginho. Into Ziyech. Met by Max Kilman with a strong, fair challenge. And it's now Dendoncker to bring it away. Behind the run of Pedro Neto, and the ball's been won, but I think it's a free kick actually. I think Neto will try to retrieve the ball or win the ball from the Dendoncker pass. He actually hurt himself there. There was actually a throw-in taken quickly, and Neto's won the ball, and he has a reaction there at Jorginho. Really wasn't happy with that challenge. A little bit unnecessary there for Pedro Neto to react like that, and he's going to be booked by the referee. You can't do that. Get up and then push a play like that, but I'm presuming he wasn't happy. Jorginho stayed down. Childlike behaviour from Jorginho. The push wasn't that strong. Just got up, pushed his chest, and then that was it. I don't think there was any real, strong collision with the ground. But I think Thiago Silva took the throw in quickly because the camera wasn't on the play at the time. He must have took it quickly, and then they've lost possession. Neto just jinxed in there, got there, and then was taken out by Jorginho. Yeah, Pedence won it back, got it to Neto, just completely taken out actually, and then, Jorginho, get a grip. It's not as bad as Rodrigo yesterday for Leeds. I'm assuming you've all seen that when I think it was Shah and Rodrigo, but what's he doing? He's holding his face. Oh, it does anger. I'm going to calm myself because that's really annoyed me. He pushed his chest and he's holding his face. Why is he holding his face for? Jorginho, man, you're 29 years of age. Get a grip. Shocking. Legit, one of the Chelsea captains as well. Holding his face when he's pushed his chest. Anyway, Neves free kick. Just above the halfway line, but he will be able to launch it into the Chelsea box where they have pushed Kilman up, Dendoncker, and Willy Bolly as well. Dinked in towards the edge of the box where Dendoncker can't win the header. It is Rudiger who finds Hudson-Odoi, who hooks it clear, falls to Connor Cody, who lays it off to the left, back to the free kick taker, Ruben Neves. Finds Neto. Tackled by Hudson-Odoi and is out for a Wolves throw-in. No reaction from Neto there. If anyone does subscribe, I'll be very thankful for that. We can try and get to 550 subscribers. Nelson Semedo throws it down the line towards Neto. Right in that corner flag, met by Hudson-Odoi and Azpilicueta in his challenge, and a throw-in's been given right in that corner flag to Wolves, despite the protest of Hudson-Odoi and Azpilicueta thinking the throw-in should have gone the other way. But it's Semedo to take again. Who's he going to throw it to? Bit of movement. He finds Dendoncker laid back out to Semedo. Left-footed cross cut out by Kovacic. Another throw-in it is for Nelson Semedo. He was one appearance short of 125 for Barcelona before being shipped out to Wolves. She had a torrid time in that 8-2 loss to Bayern Munich in the Champions League last year. As Kovacic again is challenged Pedence for a throw-in. Semedo again. Alphonso Davies had him on toast that day. Thrown to Pedence, helps it into the box where Jorginho is there to pick it up for Chelsea lay it off to Thiago Silva, first time clearance long towards Giroud, gets a head on it a first time, but then it falls to Neves and his touch is poor and Ziyech can have the ball. He's going to look for the left hand side where he just calmly give it to Antonio Rudiger, formerly of Roma. Talking of Roma, not really based off Chelsea, but Edin Dzeko's been maybe offered a contract with Manchester City, seeing him back at the club. It's a deal that will contain him, I think, signing maybe an 18-month deal or a 12-month deal with Manchester City and then a 2-year contract with New York City FC afterwards. So that might happen. So you might see Dzeko back in the Premier League, signing from Roma, but that's not official or anything. That is just a rumour. Jorginho came from Serie A as well himself, Napoli. Moved over with Maurizio Sarri, one of the managers also cut from the Chelsea management. Kovacic inside to Jorginho. Bit of room to find a pass here if he can. Takes his time and gets it over to the left to Ziyech. He's got Chilwell making a run. Finds him. First time cross by Chilwell. Cannons off Hoover back to him. Finds Ziyech forward to Kovacic. Too much on it. Pedence can intercept. It's now Neves. Finds Pedence. Strong tackle by Kovacic, but the referee deems it a foul. And Pedence has been in the walls too many times today, I think. I think the third time he's been fouled and he's had to stay down a little bit just to get himself back together. It's a strong challenge from Kovacic, and he actually got the ball first, but the trailing foot is actually what completely takes out Pedence's ankle, and that's where the referee's seen the foul. But the first challenge was actually really strong and got the ball, but it's just a follow-through that caught Pedence. There's a ball over the top for Wolves, caught out by Azpilicueta, and it's now Jorginho to Thiago Silva on the edge of the box. Brings it forward and finds Kovacic, the man who was guilty of the foul on Pedence just before. Azpilicueta, pass forward to Ziyech. Who's again just drifted to the right hand side. Back to Azpilicueta on the halfway line is Jorginho. Thiago Silva taking a few little touches and can't really quite find a way through this resolute Wolves defence. See, 9 losses they're on. I think that's the amount they got last year. Wolves 9 losses, and they've already got that halfway through this season. They won't want to make it 10 and go into double figures so soon. Yeah, last season they picked up 9 losses. They're already on that this year. Shows the demise they've had, Wolves this season. Obviously, no Jimenez. It's been quite the blow. They have just brought in Willian Jose from Real Sociedad. A work permit was what was stopping him from possibly not playing in this game or even getting on the bench, but that all went through and he found himself on the bench. He is a goal scorer, William Jose, as he might be needed because Kovacic has looked for Havertz, can't quite bring it down, and Wolves have it back. And here is Traore. Can he get away from Kovacic? He can. Can he get away from Chilwell? He can, after being brought down by Chilwell. I think that one is a foul, and Traore wins a free kick for his team. Only the 3 goals though in 13 appearances in the league for William Jose. His last league goal for Sociedad actually came against Barcelona in a 2-1 defeat. Yet to play as well, an English opponent, even with his shortages of Europa League appearances and European appearances. He's not had many. He's not actually played an English opponent yet. It's Hudson-Odoi's header is waywards and goes out for a throw-in for Wolves just in their own half. There's Alex Twanzebe. He's actually a player who's going to be playing for United tonight. No Lindelof or Bailly, it's Axel Twanzebe. Semedo has it to Max Kilman. Hesitates first time with a pass, but then goes for it a second time towards Pedence. It's cut out by Thiago Silva, and I feel like they need to replace Jorginho. I think Jorginho's really slowing down the Chelsea attacks. I would honestly bring on a Mason Mount, I think, or maybe even a Billy Gilmore. I think would be more suitable. Billy Gilmore, I think, would be perfect. Holding midfielder with a bit more pace. And here Jorginho has worked it to Hudson-Odoi in towards Ziyech. Caught late, says the referee, the Moroccan playmaker. And Kilman, who's really not done anything wrong all game. That's probably the first thing he's done wrong, committing a foul. Other than that, Kilman has been fantastic. Yeah, went for the ball, missed the ball, caught the leg, I think the shin pad of Ziyech with the studs, and that is going to be a free kick for Max Kilman. Like I said, though, only the first thing he's done wrong. But on the right-hand side, we have a free kick around 35 yards out for Chelsea. And it's going to be Hudson-Odoi to whip in across here with the right foot. It's going to be an in-swinging cross. This could cause danger. High line on the edge of the box for Wolves. Can he get it right? Hudson-Odoi crosses it towards the back post where it's going to fall towards Giroud. Gets it into the box with Hoover there to hoover things up for Wolves and clear. Throw-in's been taken to Havertz. Down the byline, cut out his cross. Willy Bolly. Falls to Ziyech on the edge. Jorginho. Back to Kovacic. He's going to work its way over to the right-hand side. To Azpilicueta. Crossed in towards Giroud. Conor Cody's the one who gets there. Avoids a dangerous header goalwards by Giroud, who was frustrated by the fact that Cody just got there ahead of him. But they have won a corner. Dangerous cross, and defensively it was very good work from Conor Cody, but the ball's been crossed in. It's dangerous. Willy Bolly wins the header. Edge of the box, it falls to Jorginho. Hudson-Odoi back out to Ziyech, the corner taker. Has a second bite at the cherry. Rolls it onto his right foot. Crosses a ball in. Headed away by Dendoncker. Azpilicueta wins a header on Willy Bolly and finds Giroud on the byline. Looks to get a cross in. I think he's actually gone greedy there with a shot at the near post, and it's an easy save for Rui Patricio. I wonder when we'll see a change for Chelsea, as it's already been worked out to Podence down the right-hand side. He's got Traore in support. But there's too many Chelsea bodies already back, and just goes backwards to Dendoncker. Neves over to Hoover. Dendoncker again over to Conor Cody. Max Kilman did play the full 90 minutes against Chorley in the FA Cup in their 1-0 win, and actually picked up the assist for the Vitinha goal, or Victor Ferreira, whichever you decide for him. Hoover, pass intercepted by Azpilicueta, but does fall to Conor Cody, who can just nod it down to Semedo. Being forced backwards to Max Kilman. He plays it forward to Neto, first time touching to Semedo. His touch has been intercepted by Azpilicueta, and Hudson-Odoi's hesitated on the ball. But thankfully, the challenge from Nelson Semedo has gone straight to Jorginho for Chelsea, and they've got it to Havertz, back to Rudiger. I think Tuchel needs to make a change. Just needs, I think, Mason Mount or Billy Gilmore on the pitch, I think. And Werner and Abraham, they've got many attacking options. Azpilicueta zipped into Ziyech. Can work out wide left to Chilwell. Brings it down. Goes inside. Going to go to his right to Kovacic. Finds Havertz in the space. Pulls it back to Chilwell. Left-footed strike, and he's just, I think, leant back there at the pivotal moment, and she's gone over the bar. But if it's a Giroud or a Ziyech on the receiving end of that Havertz pass, we could see a different story with a Chelsea goal. Has scored, though, this season, Chilwell, against Crystal Palace, like I mentioned before. And that was at Stamford Bridge, and he's just leaned back at the wrong moment there. And to the frustration of Thomas Tuchel, Chilwell could have had the first goal in his tenure. But they still search for that goal, as Wolves have just cleared it out towards the right-hand side, but over everyone's head, and the best they can get is a throw-in, where Chilwell will take it quickly to Rudiger. Thiago Silva it is with now. But that's a chance that's really gone a begging for Chelsea with around half an hour to go. Thiago Silva to Kovacic. Over to Chilwell, inside to Giroud, back to goal, finds Chilwell again. Heavy touch and a challenge on Traore where he's missed the ball and definitely clipped the man there. It is a booking for Chilwell, he's rightly given there. He's just missed the ball and he has caught, I think, the ankle of Traore there. Not intentionally, eyes always on the ball, and I think it's the top of the foot actually of Traore, who just gets there ahead of Chilwell to take the ball away from him, and it is definitely a free kick and a yellow card for Ben Chilwell. (23rd) appearance in the Chelsea shirt this season for Ben Chilwell. 116 Premier League appearances, 99 of them came in the blue court of Leicester City, where he did play that game where they lost 2-0 at the King Power. Ndidi and Maddison goals. I think that was really the final straw in the coffin of Frank Lampard. It was his last Premier League game actually for Chelsea. As Wolves again have lost the ball from the free kick. They've just tried to send it long and it's not really gone on the same wavelength as each other, the teammates. And Thiago Silva has it. Still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. As again, I feel like a change is needed, but they're just not taking it. They're not making them at the minute. It's Kovacic, Jorginho, Thiago on the halfway line. He is. It's Kovacic again. Has a Champions League goal against Valencia. That's when he broke his duck in terms of Chelsea goals. Mateo Kovacic had to wait around, I think, 50 odd games he had to wait for a goal, Kovacic, for Chelsea, and he did come against Valencia in the opening campaign in the Champions League under Frank Lampard. So I've worked it to Azpilicueta, now to Hudson-Odoi. Inside to Ziyech, who has to work it away from Dendoncker and Neves. Still has it. Left-footed ball to Jorginho. Into Hudson-Odoi. First time ball to Ziyech on the right-hand side. Right-footed ball into Giroud. Gets a shot away on the weaker right foot. And he was always falling off balance as soon as he collected the ball. And the shot did not have the power to beat Rui Patricio in the net of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Good play, though, from Ziyech on the right. Was able to get it to Giroud. And then as soon as he took the first touch, he was always falling off balance. And here is Hoover for Wolves on the right-hand side. Hesitating with the ball. He's getting pressured by Chilwell and I think that's Havertz as well, and he's actually had to run the ball out of play in the final third. Hoover not having the greatest of games since coming on as a sub for Aït-Nouri in the first half. It's now Jorginho. The throw has been taken quickly. Back to Antonio Rudiger, who actually scored a brace against Leicester, I think last year, actually, Antonio Rudiger. They're 2 of his 5 Premier League goals he's got. Both away as well, helping his team to a point that day at the King Power Stadium. Probably a very unlikely scorer you'd probably label him as, but that day he was on, he had his, I wouldn't say shooting boots on, but I'm pretty sure both of them were from headers. As Ziyech has it to Azpilicueta as Grealish gives Aston Villa the lead with 22 minutes to go. 2-1 against Burnley away at Turf Moor. Ziyech is just gliding in centrally and finds a great ball to Ben Chilwell, gets a crossing towards Giroud, falls to Havertz, shot deflected onto the roof of the net. Corner kick it will be for Chelsea. Giroud got there, I think, or he may have got there and played it against a Wolves man. That meant it deflected to Havertz, who was able to have a bite at the cherry. Cross came in. I think Giroud just onside. I think it's... Who is that? That camera angle isn't the greatest. I think it's either Bolly or Cody who stopped it from getting from Giroud, and then Havertz strike blocked away and out for a corner. As I think it's... Oh, it's actually... I think it's a free kick for Wolves for an offside in between the play of Giroud and Chilwell. So I do apologise. It was offside. Obviously, I can't hear what they say, and the camera angles weren't showing it was a free kick. So it is Connor Cody, Liverpool fan, finds Neves, goes out wide right to Hoover, the number 2. Finds Pedro Neto, charges forward, tries to get away from Chilwell. He does so. Can he get away from Rudiger? He works a cross in, and a left-footed clearance from Thiago Silva onto the chest of Chilwell. Means he can try and work the ball away for Chelsea. Deflects it off the foot of Dendoncker, out for a goal kick. Well played from the defence of Chelsea, and especially Chilwell there to win the goal kick. Azpilicueta being given it, and he will charge forward. It's Ziyech back to Azpilicueta. Over to Kovacic more centrally in the pitch, in the centre attacking mid-roll. That he wants to try and find, and he has found it with Havertz. Works onto his left foot. Willy Boly with a massive challenge on the edge. Referee deems it as a fair one, and they can break now with Neto on the right-hand side. Can't quite keep it in play as Neto launches the ball away in frustration. Not trying to waste time, just frustrated with himself there. Pedro Neto, who's got that bit of bite in him. Havertz did stay down for a little bit after that strong Boly challenge, but he got the ball fairly. Boly, definitely no free kick. Half-time and no timer going. Fantastic. I do apologise. I always forget. I'm so indulged in the game as soon as the players come out. I always forget. So, thank you. And I do apologise for not having the timer started. So, what are we on? 20. I think we're 22. 30. We'll go with Thiago Silva on the ball to Azpilicueta. Yeah, we are 67 minutes into the game. Sorry about that. As soon as the players come out, I just completely forget. That's why people need to remind me. Jorginho. Again, no changes for Chelsea. It's a strange one. Kovacic, you think you'd want to get as many people out on the pitch as possible. Ziyech to Kovacic to Thiago Silva. Jorginho again. Brings it forward. He's got Azpilicueta to his right, and he will use him. Then he goes further on to Hudson-Odoi. Try to take on Nelson Semedo. Strong tackle by the Portuguese makeshift left back at the minute. Azpilicueta to take the throw in quickly. Is Willian Jose is going to be brought on for Wolves, the new striker from Real Sociedad. As I'm not being shown the game, I do apologise. And it's ended with a throw in for Wolves. Apologies. They were showing the new signing of Willian Jose on the bench there, so I didn't quite see what happened there at the end, but obviously Chelsea couldn't quite keep it in their own possession as Semedo smacks it long towards Thiago Silva, who will just lay it out for a throw-in, which will be taken by Azpilicueta. Back to Rudiger. Finds Jorginho on the halfway line, enters the Wolves half, and he's got Azpilicueta to use, and he will do so. Now Hudson-Odoi one-on-one with Nelson Semedo. Can he get the better of him this time? Down the right side, and he does so. He skips past the challenge of Nelson Semedo, dinks a ball in, volley to head away, falls to Jorginho on the right side of the box. So Traore is pressure, but he gets it to Hudson-Odoi. He works it to Azpilicueta, back to Hudson-Odoi, crossed in off the chest of Max Kilman to intercept, and a corner it is for Chelsea as we still have the game as 0-0. He did beat him there, Hudson-Odoi. He got a decent cross in, but when you've got a 6'5" Willy Bolly there to clean up the Ivorian centre half, it's going to be hard to find the likes of Giroud, even though he is 6'4" himself. About to hit the 70th minute. An in-swinging corner from Ziyech towards the back post. Header won by Wolves. It falls to Jorginho in the box. Heads it forward towards Antonio Rudiger on the left-hand side. Not deemed as offside, says the linesman, and they've worked it into Kai Havertz. Works over to the right-hand side to Azpilicueta. Finds Ziyech onto his left foot. Crossed into him. Cannons off Adama Traore, and it's now Edouard Mendy. Zips a ball towards Hudson-Odoi, and it's been cut out by Semedo. Finds Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. Goes inside to Podence. Tries to complete 1-2 to Neto. Will he get there? It will fall to him. Ziyech can't bring him down. He dinks it over Edouard Mendy onto the top of the bar. What a chance. A really, really poor pass from Edouard Mendy there. He's had nothing to do, and if it was him to rip up all the work that Chelsea have done this game to try and get in the lead, that would have really put a dampener on the game, because he's really done nothing, and a poor ball to Hudson-Odoi. Wolves broke, and in the end, after Podence and Neto just working it out between themselves, getting Neto in behind, went into Podence, flicked into Neto, tackled by Kovacic, came off the boot of Ziyech into the path of Neto, so he was actually quite fortunate how he got to him in the end. Audaciously and cheekily went for the chip on Edouard Mendy as he was well off his line and crashed the top of the crossbar. What a goal that would have been for Wolves, and that would have really, really been out of nothing. But Podence, who's missed the last 3 league games, will be substituted after having a thigh problem. He's been able to survive 71 minutes of the game, and Willian Jose, number 12, on loan from Sociedad with an option to buy, will get his first few minutes in the Premier League and his first few minutes against English opposition. More of a target man, William Jose, at 6'2", but can be mobile when he needs to be. It's Kovacic for Chelsea. Will we see a goal in this game? Thiago Silva to Jorginho. Finds Ziyech. Still no change for Chelsea. Like I said, you might think, oh yeah, it's to test the fitness levels of the Chelsea players, but why wouldn't you want to see as many Chelsea players as you can, as Havertz tries to slip it through to Chilwell in behind. Caught out by Hoover and cleared by Hoover and out for a throw-in. Chilwell throws it backwards throws it behind to the defensive final third to Rudiger, as we've got Pulisic getting stripped off and ready to enter the fray. First change to be made in the Tuchel era. And it was one of his ex-players at Dortmund, So now Ziyech pokes it to Azpilicueta. Ziyech finds Jorginho, runs onto it, pokes it to Kovacic. First time ball into Havertz, flicked in towards Giroud and just out of his range, and it's Kilman who it falls to. Poor pass from him. Jorginho has it in the midfield. Ziyech looks forward, finds Hudson-Odoi on the right hand side. Again against Semedo, went for the early cross, cut out by Semedo, and a throw in it is for Chelsea. Azpilicueta will be the man to take. So we've got 17 minutes plus additional time left to play. Azpilicueta throws it into Giroud, lays it back off to the Spanish right back, into Jorginho. Edge of the box is Ziyech. He's going to look for the pass instead. He goes behind him to Thiago Silva, over to Kovacic. Jorginho, who should drop back again for the ball. Finds Hudson-Odoi. Now to Azpilicueta to try to find a way through. It's 2-2. Should have probably commentated Burnley v Aston Villa. McNeil with the goal. 76th minute, McNeil, 2-2. Burnley versus Aston Villa. Chilwell finds Kovacic. And by the way, I did plan this game about a week and a half before the sacking of Frank Lampard, so I haven't just chose this commentary because Tuchel's got their job. It's not because of that at all. I had this planned for quite a while, actually. It just happened so he got the job. Ball forward, lifted. Nelson Semedo can deal with it. In the corner flag he is, and a left-footed clearance. Works its way towards Willian Jose, who just heads it down to Neves. Then he looks to find an on-running Pedro Neto. He has to stop his run because he knows he's not going to get there ahead of Thiago Silva, and he then feeds it through to Mateo Kovacic, to Havertz. Gets it, I think, through the legs of Willy Bolly, but then Donk is there to cover. Pass towards Adama Traore, and Bolly will bring it away because I think Kovacic was actually fouled by his own man there, Havertz. Lays it off to Adama Traore. Gets it away from Havertz and Rudiger and Jorginho, and he's tackled in that instance between Jorginho and Rudiger. As he moved the ball away to his left, he shifted it over and was taken out in the process. But as he got away from Havertz, Chelsea players wanted a foul because I think he used his arms to get away from Havertz. And it'll be Neto to take it. It's a dangerous position here to get a cross in. Neto to take, just lifts it into the box where Giroud heads it back into danger. Then Donker lays it off to Willian Jose on the edge. To Traore, to his right, to Neto. Gets onto his left, decides to shoot, and he's not caught the ball where he would have wanted to there. I think he got a bit too far under it and was always lifting over the crossbar. And 75.5 minutes played, and we've got a double change for Chelsea. It'll be Tammy Abraham, who's their current top goal scorer in the league with 6 goals. He will come on, and so will Christian Pulisic. So Ben Chilwell to come off. The left backs come off. Chilwell, Pulisic on. I wonder what they're doing here. And Giroud being replaced by Tammy Abraham. I'm not sure why Chilwell's being taken off. Back 3, maybe? Is that Hudson-Odoi on the left? Might be doing wing backs. I think it's 3 at the back. I don't know. Kovacic dinks over to Abraham, caught out by Kilman, but will fall to the chest of Kai Havertz on the left. And he uses he wants to use Hudson-Odoi, but he's just played it behind him and out for a throw-in. I'm not sure what they've done here, because obviously Pulisic and Abraham coming off and you're taking off Chilwell. That's no left-back on the pitch now. So I think they've just shifted Hudson-Odoi out to the left-hand side and kind of left that left-hand side a bit more open defensively, hoping Hudson-Odoi can do his defensive duties. The throw-in's gone straight to Jorginho. Kovacic, Rudiger, now to Thiago Silva. Burnley have gone in the lead. Chris Wood now, 2 goals in 3 minutes, have put them ahead against Aston Villa. 3-2. I really should have done that game. More goals in this one. Hopefully we'll get a winner. Kovacic into Hudson-Odoi, cutting in from the left. Onto his right foot, strikes, deflected onto the head of Bolly. He heads it forward towards Havertz. Hoover heads it away himself to Willian Jose. Gets there ahead of Thiago Silva and does work it to Ruben Neves. Down the line towards Neto. He gets there ahead of Azpilicueta, who committed a little bit too much there. Now Neves back to the halfway line to Max Kilman as they keep possession. He'll bring it forward, the former Maidenhead centre-half. They play a season in the National League before making the big jump 5 leagues to the Prem. Now Cody, a bit more controlled possession now from Wolves. Traore on the halfway line. Keeps possession. Finds Ruben Neves. Finds Willian Jose. Heavy touch on Thiago Silva. And he's challenged, and the ball will find Kovacic into Hakim Ziyech. Jorginho. Kovacic to Jorginho. I would have brought on a Billy Gilmore if I'm going to be honest. I think it'd be perfect for this game. Move the ball a bit quicker. Pulisic, sorry. To Kovacic. Again, it's just a resolute orange brick wall, which is really been the issue for Chelsea tonight. Azpilicueta goes for an adventurous ball in. And towards the 6-yard box, Tammy Abraham nearly got on the end of the cross. Rui Patricio was out quick enough. And alert enough, I'd say, more than anything. As he kicks out of his hands towards Willian Jose. Can he bring it down? It's going to bounce over his head and Thiago Silva's. And Thiago Silva will be allowed to just nod it back to Rudiger, who passes it to Edouard Mendy with 11 minutes to go. Chelsea have possession again and will bring it forward. To Hudson-Odoi. Will have more joy down the left-hand side. Goes down the line to Havertz. Towards the byline. Gets onto his right foot. Played back to Hudson-Odoi. Inside to Jorginho after going through the legs of the referee. Now they're shifting it to the right to Azpilicueta. Ziyech. Poor pass. But Neto can't capitalise and it falls back to Jorginho around 35 yards out from goal. Poked into Abraham on the edge. Back to goal. Is they allowed to turn and play a right-footed ball to Azpilicueta? Into Ziyech. Turns. Shoots off the head of I think Connor Cody, and it's kind of knocked him out a little bit there. Cannon off the head of Connor Cody, and I think they've got a defender to a corner to defend now. I think it would have been an easy save for Patricio, or it may have even been going over the bar, but Connor Cody was not to know. Ziyech to take, crossed in, and forced to Abraham at the back post, loops in the air. It's Patricio who has to punch. Falls to Thiago Silva, who helps it to the corner taker, Ziyech, and the referee has given a foul, I think. There was a bit when Patricio was going to punch the ball. I think Rudiger kind of maybe went onto him a little bit too strong to try and obviously put him off or some kind. But before you leave, obviously, because the commentary will end in around, well, when the game ends, it's going to be about 15 minutes. If you can subscribe and leave a like and follow all social medias, Instagram and TikTok, all in the description, the names of it, football_commentary for the Instagram, and then football commentaries YT for TikTok. Got a few videos out there already. What a turnaround. 68th minute goal for Jack Grealish to put him ahead, and then 11 minutes later, they're 3-2 up Burnley. And it will be Mason Mount who he opts to go with. Thomas Tuchel as his final substitution. That will be made very soon as the ball towards Willian Jose has been brought down to his chest, but straight to a Chelsea player. Into Ziyech, over to the right hand side to Christian Pulisic. Can he take on Semedo? He can do, and a little bit too easily. Pulisic chops back. Right-footed ball into Ziyech. Edge of the box it is. Kovacic, first time strike, and it's really not far away by the Croatian. He's definitely been the better of the centre midfielders tonight out of Jorginho and Kovacic. The Croatian just had a bit more energy, a bit more fluidity, and he's hit it there first time around 22 yards from goal, and it just wraps around the ball, his foot, and it curls right past the post. It just hits the side netting there at the end as it went out for a goal kick, really not too far away. Met by an applause of Thomas Tuchel. But I said this during the Arsenal commentary I did. I said, under time of Frank Lampard, this team could really become something, and it's the same now. So really good batch of young, promising players, and I think Tuchel can take them that extra step forward as Ziyech, who's tried everything all night, has been replaced by Mason Mount. Poor ball from Kilman, intercepted by Pulisic, finds Mount, ball in by Mount, intercepted, falls to Pulisic, dinks ball in, Hoover with a Scuff clearance back towards Mason Mount in the box. Back to goal and works their way from Semedo and uses Jorginho. Mount using his strength to get away from Willian Jose. Crossed, deflected off Nelson Semedo for a corner for Chelsea. Will we get some late drama in the first game of Thomas Tuchel's reign at Chelsea? I think a positive for Chelsea is the fact they're not conceded yet. Obviously, last year they had real problems. They conceded the most goals in the top half of the table last year with 54. Cross put in, easy collection for Willian, for Rui Patricio there from the corner, right into his hands there. Really poor from, I think that was Mason Mount who took it. But at least they kept a clean sheet. Yes, they haven't scored, but they've dominated possession and they've looked okay within chances. But again, he's had one training session, so there's not really much you can judge on this performance. Booted forward by Patricio. Nuno Espirito Santo taking charge of his 180th Wolves game. Might be getting his 42nd draw as from the kick forward, Chelsea have got it back with Patricio, with Kovacic. It's now Jorginho. He missed a penalty against Arsenal in a very important part of the game. Would have made it 3-2 at the time, with about 4 minutes to go. Havertz into Hudson-Odoi. He's able to keep it between them. Hudson-Odoi, right-footed pass behind, back to Rudiger. Thiago Silva to Jorginho. Right-hand side, he's got Azpilicueta. Down the line towards Pulisic. Can he pull it back to anyone? No, he's just going to keep it in his own possession for now. Try and take on Max Kilman, work a bit of room. An attempted cross. He's gone out for a goal kick. The linesman, again, Pulisic is really questioning what the linesman's seen there. He's crossed it onto Kilman. Kilman pleaded his case if it came off Pulisic after it came off him, and the linesman agreed, and goal kick it's been given to Wolves. And the goalkeeper will play it into Willy Bolly on the right hand side of the three centre backs. Hoover down the line looking for Traore. He's going to get there ahead of Rudiger. He's got players there in the final third. He cuts inside. He's going to keep going to the opposite side of the pitch here on the left hand side. A lazy right footed pass, and Pulisic can intercept. Go inside to Mason Mount, holds it up against the pressure of Neves, just pushed to the ground there. Foul given, and a free kick, and it's taken quickly. And it's Jorginho now to Kovacic, into Hudson-Odoi. He's brought it forward for Chelsea. One-on-one with Hoover. Cuts inside onto the right foot, just inside the box, decides to strike. He's deflected, and it's a save by Patricio as he was just able to dive to his left to stop the ball from deflecting into the back of the net. And concedes the corner with not long left to go. 4.5 minutes plus additional time. Hudson-Odoi's looked lively all game, deflected off Hoover, and it's a good save by Rui Patricio. One you'd really expect him to make, though, despite the deflection. Mount it is. Outswinging cross, it's dangerous, headed away by Conor Cody. Pulisic is going to try and get there ahead of Pedro Neto. Challenges him, and the referee has seen it as a foul. It's actually Pedro Neto, going for the ball. And he wins the free kick for his team there. But you've got to say, Pedro Neto is the one player who's come closest for both teams. He's hit the bar when he was able to get away from Ziyech as a Kovacic slide tackle came off Ziyech and then through into Neto, and he saw Mendy off his line, went for a little scoop, I would describe it more as, and hit the top of the crossbar. Because again, there's been no real clear-cut chances for Chelsea. They had a shot with Havertz, slight chance with Chilwell, a flash cross towards Giroud, he couldn't get on the end of it. So not much really from Chelsea. As Willian Jose has just flicked it on, looking for a run behind him, but it fell straight to Thiago Silva. Kovacic to Hudson-Odoi. Inside to Havertz. What's that bark? Azpilicueta to Thiago Silva. Sorry about that. That bark was weird from one of my dogs. I've never heard them do that before. To Jorginho. Azpilicueta. Jorginho over to Rudiger. We're now towards the left-hand side. It's now Kovacic. To Jorginho as he's going to try the right-hand side again. Azpilicueta. Inside to Pulisic. First time ball into Azpilicueta. Really finding their way to struggle to get it past this five at the back. As Jorginho's found Mason Mount, let it run, pulls it across goal. Willy Bolly stops it from hitting a man in blue and concedes the corner. Fantastic defensive positioning from Willy Bolly. Ball in by Jorginho. He let it run and completely took Max Kilman and Semedo out of the game there, Mason Mount. Really good skill by the youngster. Really portraying why he should be starting in this game. And he will take the corner, put the pull back. It was deflected away by Willy Bolly and doesn't match the skill with a corner because it's right at the near post where Willian Jose can just head out for a throw-in. They'll let Azpilicueta take. Into Havertz, who's drifted over to the right-hand side. And finds Kovacic, lays it out to Thiago Silva. We've got 2 minutes plus added on time left to play in this game. Will we get a late winner? Azpilicueta, I think, forcing it more down that right-hand side. And Mason Mount does pressure Semedo to him giving him the ball away after a poor Azpilicueta ball. Finds Pulisic, his cross is deflected away. Conor Cody's there, only as far as the edge of the box where Wolves have to work it away. And it's Willian Jose who does do so. And finds Traore. Bursts into the Chelsea half away from Kovacic. Works the ball away from Traore. Neto with a beautiful first-time ball over to Dendoncker, who's able to bring it down. But he's met by Hudson-Odoi. And thankfully for Chelsea, the ball falls straight into the hands of Mendy, who's able to get it to Jorginho, find Mount, and they can get on the attack again. What a first-time ball from Neto. Dendoncker brought it down. And as he brought it down, he's met by Hudson-Odoi. And as they've both gone with the ball, it's fell to the hands of Mendy as they've now got it to Mount. Pulisic one-on-one with Semedo. He's got support of Pedro Neto. Forced back to Azpilicueta. Can't go inside to Mason Mount. Neto wins it. It's now Willian Jose holding it up and releasing it, but straight to Hudson-Odoi. But the referee's given a free kick as they say Willian Jose was being held while he was holding up the ball. It looks like we might have a stalemate in Thomas Tuchel's first game as Chelsea boss. Here it is again. Dendoncker brought it down, and as he kicked it onto the charging Hudson-Odoi. And that's how it got to the keeper. Yeah, 30 seconds. Positive to take. The fact that they used the ball quite well. They had it for the majority of the game. I think the more training sessions, the more time under Tuchel, they'll learn how to break down these defences of back fives and midfield fours. And I think they'll be absolutely fine under Tuchel in terms of like, winning these kind of games. Obviously, one training session, his first game. Can't really expect too much. As Traore, the absolute power machine, doesn't add to the one goal he's got this year. Not got a Premier League goal yet, wasn't able to get one, and he's been replaced by the experienced João Moutinho, the 34-year-old. Played 68 minutes at Chorley. He's going to get a couple minutes today as Conor Cody sent a free kick towards Jose. Header won by Rudiger, falls straight to Hoover, who can play behind him to Dendoncker. Goes once more behind him to Willy Bolly, dinked forward, looking for Willian Jose. Rudiger can let it run and can get it to Edouard Mendy as we've got 3 minutes of additional time. Can we get late drama at Stamford Bridge? Usually there'll be around up to nearly 42,000 fans cheering both their teams on, respectively of each numbers that are allowed in the ground. Usually a couple thousand of Wolves fans would be in, making those numbers up, try to urge their team on to either defend a 0-0 draw or go on to win it. Azpilicueta, Pulisic, back to Azpilicueta again. Only Abraham and Havertz really in the box. Not many options for the midfielders and the defenders trying to work away into the box. It's Pulisic who has it. Kovacic to Azpilicueta. Takes a touch, tries to go inside to Pulisic. Deflects off Moutinho back to Azpilicueta. Now found inside to Jorginho. Behind him to Thiago Silva. Rudiger over to Hudson-Odoi, works it onto his right foot and he's been given time to get across him but just lays it off to Rudiger inside instead. Back to Hudson-Odoi in the final third. Can he work it onto his right foot? He's going to look to go down the byline with his left. Really heavy touch there on the right foot. Try to shift it onto the left. And it goes out for a goal kick for Wolves. And with 1:25 to go, that could be the last chance Chelsea might see in this game. This will be Rui Patricio to take the goal kick. This will be the 5th clean sheet of the season for Wolves, the 8th that's in the league, and the 8th in the league as well for Edouard Mendy. 12th in all competitions. There's been a foul on a Chelsea player as the ball was launched forward and they'll take the free kick quickly in their own half. with Aspilicueta having it. Hudson-Odoi man of the match for BT Sport. I'm going to give 2 man of the matches. Hudson-Odoi for Chelsea, and I'm going to give it Max Kilman for Wolves. I think he's been really strong and resolute, the young centre-half in the back three for Wolves tonight. So Hudson-Odoi for Chelsea and Max Kilman for Wolves as Havertz finds Jorginho. Mount on the edge of the box, finds Pulisic in the box. He works a deflected cross over the bar, out for a corner. Last chance for Chelsea with 15 seconds left to go of additional time. This is disappointing for Tuchel. I don't think it'd be disappointing, really. It's his first game on training session. He's seen his team play now a 90-minute game, and he can work on it. So let's have to see. Mount crossed a header, and it was going in to that bottom left corner, but there's a block on the Havertz header, and that's full time. Oh, what a chance. Tuchel's first game in his tenure ends in a 0-0 draw. You can take positives. Didn't concede too many chances, but didn't make too many chances. And right at the end, his team had a real chance to nick it. Havertz got up from the corner higher than anyone else, directed it towards the far post, and from the camera angle, what I saw, it looked like it was heading in. The goalkeeper looked rooted, and then it blocked. Who was it blocked by? He won the header, blocked off the head of Willian Jose. More reactions than anything. Didn't really see it coming till the last second, where he could just slightly move his head over to stop the ball from looking like it was going to nestle into that bottom corner, and that is the final whistle blown. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. Chelsea are going to have to wait until, I think, Saturday, where they play Burnley, to see their team play under Tuchel again, where they'll look for a first win and a first goal. But they have got a clean sheet, and both teams can walk away, I think, pretty happy with the outcome of the game. Both teams can take positives, and both teams can take things to look onto to improve in the future. That is going to be it for me. Tuchel's first game is going to be ended in a 0-0 draw. Hope you liked. Make sure you follow all the socials. All the names for them are linked in the description. Check the playlist out on the channel as well. Loads of different content. More than that, Tuchel will walk away with a point where his time here starts now. And will he be the future of Chelsea, or will his time be cut short as well? Results will be the big factor of that, and we'll just have to see how they do under his reign.